What if I told you that we have a way to get a sneak peek at potentially explosive moves? Well, we do, and here's exactly how. Okay guys, this is a perfect example of exactly the type of options flow I'm looking for that gives me a clue that something explosive is going to happen. At first glance, this is the type of flow that's going to confuse new options flow traders. So let's pull up the checklist and see exactly why this meets my requirements. Okay, today we're looking at POET, P-O-E-T, and this is what you want to look out for. This was posted, if you look right here, at 6:31, so 1 minute into the bell, because I'm on West Coast time. If you look at this right here, the first print on this contract is 9:30:00. Now the scanner shows East Coast time, so that 9:30:00 is literally not even a full second into the bell. That's incredible. Not only is that incredible, but look at this, 9:30 to 9:30:46. So within 46 seconds, all of this came screaming in. So let's look at the checklist now and see how this compares. The first thing on the checklist is aggressive buying. If you look at this, again, 9:30, 9:30:02, 03, 04, 10, 12, 16, 46. So all of this came in within 46 seconds. The first one, not even a second into the bell, right away. That is aggressive. Specific contract. So I've got isolated on the screen here, just this one contract. This isn't everything for POET, but the way they hit this one, this is the 515 $15 calls, all isolated on the screen. There's that one contract, and look, just boom, 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 in that same contract within 46 seconds. Contract price increasing. So look at this. We have 197, 289, 330, 340, 349, and then it dips a little bit, but that is increasing price, and that's increasing pretty good. So they started at 197 and drove it all the way up to 349 within 46 seconds. So here's where it's going to get a little confusing for newer traders. On the checklist is ask and above ask and sweeps. We've got mostly sweeps. There's only one block, so we can skip to that one and check that one off. Those are sweeps. The above ask and ask is what you're looking for. And most new traders are going to say, well, it started off below the bid. Then right away, there's another bid, and the very last one is below the bid. So that's going to be confusing for new traders, because even though those filled below the bid, bid, and below the bid for those three lines, that's still buying. They happen to get filled on the bid, but it's still opening transactions. And I know that goes against everything I tell you guys and teach you guys, but that's the nuance of options flow that you understand with time. And I am going to do a video on just that specifically later on. But for now, just understand that even though those filled on the bid and below bid, those are still buying. Now, this isn't a solo block. Significant dollar amount, look at this, 110, 234, 143, 103, 264, 138, 98, 66. So each one of those trades is a pretty good dollar amount. And remember, this is all within 46 seconds of the market opening. I did get this posted at 6:31. So you can see if you're quick enough with options flow, it's a no-brainer. You can get into these trades right away. And contract volume exceeding OI, well, in this case, that did not happen here. So on the checklist, that one does not get a check mark. But let's look at some charts and see exactly what happened with these guys. Now here's that specific contract. This is the chart, not of the underlying, but that specific contract. You can see here this big opening candle. So the next candle is where I posted the flow in the room, and you can see the peak of that contract was $3.50. What happened? It immediately spiked to 570. That is huge. After that, it did work its way back down. You can see here it retraced, and then it went on a nice steady upward run, closing the day at 588. So if you got in anywhere around 350 and held to the end of the day, that would be a nice move. Even if it retraced against you a little bit, let's say you got in up here, there was a little retrace, but steady climbing the whole rest of the day. And the key for this one is because it was such an explosive entry, this isn't something you would necessarily close out right away, and here's why. Let's take a look at this. This is the underlying. This is the 1 minute chart today for Poet. So you can see right at the opening bell, we get this explosive move. It does retrace a little bit, but it never comes all the way back down to that pre-market support, which was the same opening candle support. And then there's your steady climb throughout the rest of the day. The amazing part, look what happened after hours. This thing just skyrocketed. So it closed the day somewhere, what was the number? 2057. And after hours, it shot to 2570. Now it did pull back a little bit. It's retracing some of that. It's currently 2315. That's still about a $3 move, closer to $2.60 of a move after hours. And I want to see where this one opens tomorrow. But that explosive move right at the opening bell and how they just piled into that contract, boom, 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 as quickly as they could, as just the second the bell rang. That's an aggressive entry. That's what I'm looking for. And you can see what something like that does. Now, again, ahead of time, we never know how it's going to react. So seeing this big move after hours, we can't predict that. But what we can do is take the chance because the checklist told us that was a trade that we want to be in. And then we have the ability to capture moves like this. So that is Poet. That's how we find explosive moves. The options flow tells us exactly what trades we need to be in. If you're struggling and you can't understand how to make profits or you want to learn about options flow, come hang out with us at Flow Companion and we'll walk you through this step by step.